What's up, guys? Eli here, back for a new stuff video. All death metal today, so let's go ahead and get started. From Burning Dogma Records, we've got Clean Flesh with, I think it's just titled Clean Flesh EP or maybe an old demo. Yeah, this is a re-release from a US death metal band, originally released in the 90s, mid-90s, I think. I want to say these guys were from Ohio. Pretty good stuff. Brutal death metal. You could almost call it brutal death grind, brutal gore grind, something like that. I'm just going to say brutal death metal. There's a drum machine on here, but I find it fine. I mean, after listening to Mortician for, all these years, I don't find it too distracting anyways on this release. Super pitch shifted vocals. Pretty good. I like this a lot, actually. If you're scouring the earth for obscure, mid-90s brutal death metal, check out this Clean Flesh release. It's pretty cool. And the next two I have are from my boy up here in my area from Doom to Obscurity Records. We've got his newest release. Excision, death metal from early to mid 90s out of Arizona. This is Excreted Guts. This is a compilation of, I think they're 2 demos, something like that. I think it's all the stuff they ever did release. This is good, just old school, nasty, raw death metal. Again, if you're looking for obscure, early to mid 90s death metal releases, check this out, and definitely check out Doom to Obscurity Records. I've been working on getting everything he's released so far. I think I actually have all of it. Now this one you won't be able to get. This is sold out. It was only limited to 30 copies, but we got Pugilist with the 1994 death metal, or 1994 demo. This is death metal, brutal death metal, super raw, super nasty, out of the US. Can't remember what state, but yeah, re-release of that 94 demo that you see on the back there. This was very cool to have, as I've, never heard it before. I wasn't listening to death metal in 1994, so now I can try to track down obscure stuff like this, and it's been a lot of fun. You could probably check this out on Bandcamp or YouTube or something like that, but Pugilist, good death metal. This release is sadly sold out. Then we've got Vomit Forth with Northeastern Deprivation. This is the Century Media re-release. They originally released this as an EP back when they were signed to Maggot Stomp Records. So this is a re-release with extra tracks. Now I gotta say, you might remember me talking about Vomit Forth. I bought their debut full length from not too long. What was it, last year? Last year or this year, something like that. I didn't like it at all, but I like their old stuff, so I'm not sure what happened. I think maybe they've recently. I think maybe they've added some more like hardcore elements, and it just doesn't work for me. But this early stuff, I do like this early stuff. Will I continue to buy Vomit Forth? I don't think so. I think I'm just one and done with this band. They're from Connecticut, by the way. Decent, modern brutal death metal, but I just don't really dig what they're doing. But if you like more old school style death metal, you could probably check out this check this out. You'd probably dig it. Now, these next 4 are albums that I've picked up at my local record store. They've only just recently got them in, which is funny because these are all 2022 releases. So I don't know what's going on there, but whatever. I have them. Now we got Ava Turney with The Ailing Facade. This was released, like I said, last year on Profound Lore Records. This is like an experimental death metal band out of New York City, I think. This is members from, you might remember that band Flourishing. They kind of made some waves some years back. You even got a guy from Artificial Brain here. I have not spent much time with this at all, so I'm not really qualified yet to talk about it, but I just thought I'd show it. Seems like a cool release. I used to be kind of more closed-minded to the more experimental death metal bands, but now I'm kind of digging some of it, so yeah, should be a cool thing to try and wrap my head around. And from 20 Bucks Spin, we've got the newest release from Asaphalex with Theothanatology. They are a death metal band out of Oakland, California. Just imagine old school death metal played by maybe people that grew up in the punk scene. I think that's a good description of what this sounds like. I've listened to it once or twice already. It's pretty good. I mean, I've always thought Asaphalex were a cool band. There's not, personally, this is a personal thing, there's not a lot that's drawing me back just on a personal level, but I'm glad I bought this. I will listen to it from time to time, but for me, it's not one of those things where I'm like, man, I can't wait to listen to that album again. But you might feel differently. If you like, crust or punk influenced death metal, I mean, you could definitely do a lot worse. These guys are good. Then from Hammerheart Records, out of Peru, we've got Spectral Soul with Towards Extinction. Pretty cool cover art there, right? This band is one that I've never heard of. I saw this at the record store. I'm like, that looks cool. I'm going to look into that. Nice layout here. Very nice, actually. So I looked into it, and this appears to be just dudes that have been around the block as far as death metal. Probably played, or from what I've seen, they've played in a lot of Peruvian bands over the decades. So these are experienced dudes. These are probably dudes in their 40s and 50s. So what you get here is to me, what I hear is this is like a death metal in its very early stages, but not as primitive and just not as primitive. This is more like, I would say, late 80s death metal, played by dudes that already had a bunch of experience. I mean, all the musicians on here they all know what they're doing. The solos here are great. These guys are good musicians, but it still has that, late 80s death metal sound. The vocals are they're not super guttural. They're more like a Tom Araya style vocals. Just imagine if Tom Araya were to be in a death metal band. That's kind of what you get. More, vocals that you can actually understand. I'm not saying that's a thing that I prefer. I actually like my vocals to be nasty and just completely unintelligible. But yeah, if you like late 80s death metal or even 80s thrash metal, and you want to hear a death metal band played by just absolute veterans, look into the Spectral Soul. This is a pretty cool album. Haven't spent a lot of time with any of this. This is just stuff that I've just picked up recently. So I'm working my way through it, but cool release. I'm surprised that nobody's heard of these guys before. And the last one for the day, we got Heads for the Dead, released via Transcending Obscurity Records. I always like picking up Transcending Obscurity releases when I can, just because of the quality. Everything they do, their physical product is just top notch. Even when they put out a digipack, it's like a super durable and nice digipack. I mean, let's just look at the layout. It's kind of foil looking on the front. It's just super nice. So this is death metal out of multiple places. England, Germany, Sweden, and the US, I believe. So you got members from all over the world, really. There's the inside again. Amazing layout. And when you get stuff from Transcending Obscurity, they often include like these little hand-numbered cards, limited to 500 copies. Often you get Bandcamp download codes. There's a stack of them there. Pretty cool. So I've heard of this band. I just I've never had picked anything up. From what little I've heard over the years, I've sampled some stuff here and there. I actually get all promos from Transcending Obscurity. I would say it sounds like Swedish death metal if I were to, put it in a box. Looking forward to spending a little more time with this band. What do you guys think? I think they've been making some waves. I've been seeing them mentioned a little bit more and more. And that's all. What do you think, guys? Have you heard any of these releases? Do you like any of them? Do you dislike any of them? Do you plan on picking any of them up? You might know a little bit more than I do about some of these, so go ahead and let's get some discussion going. As always, I appreciate you stopping by. Louis says hello. He's taking a nap. He's kind of dangling off the bed here, but anyways, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk soon. Fucking cheers.